You wake up, phone silent, no messages, no missed calls, just you and that quiet pressure in your chest. And for a moment, you wonder if something is wrong with you. Good. That moment right there is the beginning of power, because here is a truth most people are too afraid to face. If you are alone, truly alone, not just physically but socially, emotionally, mentally, you are not failing. You are separating. And separation is always the first step before elevation. Machiavelli would tell you something brutal, something comforting, and something dangerous all at once. The man who understands power must learn to stand alone before he ever leads others. Not surrounded, not validated, not approved. Alone. Look at your life honestly. The moment you stopped tolerating shallow conversations, invitations faded. The moment you stopped being endlessly available, people vanished. The moment you stopped laughing at jokes that insulted your intelligence, the room went quiet. That is not coincidence, that is cause and effect. Most people do not abandon you because you became worse. They drift away because you became less useful to their comfort. Machiavelli wrote that men are loyal when it costs them nothing. The moment loyalty requires sacrifice, clarity arrives. Solitude is clarity. Here is the part nobody prepares you for. Growth feels like loss before it feels like strength. There is a scene in the movie The Dark Knight where Bruce Wayne disappears from Gotham. People assume he broke. In reality, he was becoming something Gotham could not understand yet. Transformation always looks like isolation from the outside. Let me tell you a short story. There was a man who worked 12 hours a day building a business nobody believed in. Friends stopped calling. Family told him he was obsessed. Weekends became silent. Birthdays passed unnoticed. At night, he questioned himself. Not once, every night. Years later, those same people called him lucky. They said it happened fast. They never asked about the silence that built it. That silence is where Machiavelli would smile, because solitude removes illusion. When you are surrounded, you perform, you adjust, you edit yourself. When you are alone, there is no audience. No mask survives long without witnesses. Loneliness strips you down to what is real. That is why it hurts. You are forced to confront questions most people avoid for their entire lives. Who am I when nobody is watching? What do I actually want? What am I afraid of losing? What have I been pretending to be? Those questions burn, but they also sharpen. Machiavelli understood that power is not built on popularity. It is built on self-command, and self-command is forged in isolation. Think about this. Every bad decision you made socially probably came from fear of being alone, staying too long, agreeing too much, lowering standards, selling your time for approval. Loneliness feels painful because it removes the anesthesia. You are no longer numbing yourself with noise, messages, validation, cheap dopamine. Your nervous system is recalibrating. That discomfort is not emptiness, it is withdrawal. You are detoxing from dependence. Here is the dangerous secret. A man who can sit alone without panicking cannot be controlled. He does not beg, he does not chase, he does not negotiate his values for company. That is why solitude terrifies society. Society is built on need. Need for approval, need for belonging, need for permission. Remove the need, and the structure loses its grip. Machiavelli warned rulers about this. A man who fears solitude will always choose safety over truth. A man who survives solitude will choose truth even when it costs him everything. Think about anime like Vagabond. Musashi does not become strong in crowds. He becomes strong wandering alone, fighting himself, cutting illusions one by one. Strength is lonely before it is respected. Now here is where most people ruin this phase. They confuse solitude with stagnation. Loneliness without direction becomes decay. Loneliness with purpose becomes a weapon. If you are alone and doing nothing, you are suffering for no reason. But if you are alone and building, learning, sharpening, planning, then you are ahead of 90% of people. Machiavelli had no respect for passive suffering. Fortune favors the bold, not the bitter. Use the quiet. Read what others are too distracted to read. Train while others scroll. Build skills nobody claps for yet. Think in decades while others think in weekends. Silence is not empty, it is loaded. There is another truth most people avoid. Many relationships exist only to prevent loneliness, not to add value. When you remove yourself, those relationships collapse instantly. That does not mean you were unlovable. It means the bond was transactional, and transactions end when the product is gone. This is why Machiavelli said it is better to be alone than surrounded by unreliable allies. Bad company weakens judgment. Solitude strengthens it. Look around. Most people are never alone. They jump from relationship to relationship, group to group, noise to noise, and yet they feel hollow, because being surrounded is not the same as being supported. You are experiencing something rare, an unfiltered encounter with yourself. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it exposes insecurity. Yes, it forces responsibility. That is the point. In solitude, you stop blaming others because there is no one to blame. You either improve or you rot. That pressure creates men of substance. There is a reason emperors, generals, philosophers, and creators all had periods of withdrawal. Napoleon isolated himself to plan. Nietzsche walked alone to think. Machiavelli wrote his most ruthless truths in exile. Isolation is not exile when you use it correctly. It is incubation. Now let me be clear about something. Loneliness is not a permanent identity. It is a phase. You are not meant to stay here forever. This is the forge, not the throne. The goal is not to reject people. The goal is to stop needing them to feel whole. When you reach that point, something strange happens. People return, but now they return differently, with respect instead of entitlement, with curiosity instead of demand, and you choose differently. You no longer accept proximity without alignment. You no longer tolerate noise without meaning. You become selective. That is power. Machiavelli believed fear and respect last longer than affection, but even more powerful than both is independence. A man who can walk away without fear controls the frame. That is what solitude teaches you, how to walk alone without collapsing. Here is the final test. Can you sit with yourself at night, no screen, no distraction, no validation, and still feel grounded? If the answer is no, then this phase is necessary, because until you can stand yourself, no one else truly will. Loneliness forces the most important relationship of your life into focus, the one with yourself. Fix that, and everything else aligns. Break that, and nothing ever will. So if you are alone right now, do not rush to escape it. Do not label it failure. Do not numb it with shallow replacements. Use it. This is where weak habits die. This is where false identities burn. This is where discipline replaces motivation. And when you finally step back into the world, you will notice something unsettling. You are no longer impressed by crowds. You are no longer desperate for approval. You are no longer afraid of silence. You have seen the desert and survived. That makes you dangerous. Machiavelli would call this real power. Power that does not need witnesses. Power that does not beg to be seen. Power that exists whether others approve or not. So if your phone is silent tonight, if your circle is shrinking, if your path feels lonely, take it as confirmation. You are not lost. You are being sharpened. Easy paths are crowded. The difficult ones are quiet. And the quiet ones are the only paths that lead anywhere worth going. Thank you for watching. If you want more raw, unfiltered wisdom, join my free newsletter. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.